There are places in the world that seem to hold darkness within their very walls. Buildings where history, tragedy, and the passage of time have combined to create an atmosphere thick with fear and mystery. Among such places, few inspire as much dread as a cursed, abandoned hospital. These sites, once dedicated to healing and hope, have become synonymous with suffering, loss, and the unknown. And in the heart of Milan, there stands one such hospital, a place so notorious, so steeped in chilling accounts and whispered legends, that nobody dares to cross its threshold after night falls. The story of Milan's cursed hospital begins over a century ago, when the city's rapid growth called for a grand medical facility. Built with the best intentions, the hospital soon developed a reputation for treating the city's most desperate cases: the terminally ill, the mentally afflicted, and those with nowhere else to turn. As years passed, the hospital's corridors echoed with the cries of pain and the muffled footsteps of overworked nurses and doctors. Yet beneath its surface, a darkness grew. Unexplained deaths, disappearances, and strange occurrences were whispered about among the staff, but rarely spoken aloud. Decades later, as modern medicine advanced and new hospitals opened, this once bustling institution fell into disrepair. Its doors closed, but the stories did not end. In the years that followed, the hospital's empty halls became the subject of local legend. Residents spoke of strange lights flickering behind broken windows, of inhuman cries drifting on the night air, and of shadowy figures glimpsed through the iron gates. No official explanations were ever given, and the building was left to rot, a decaying monument to an era of suffering. But the true terror of the hospital did not reach the world until February 2025, when a gripping account emerged, shaking even the most hardened skeptics, titled "Whispers from the Morgue: The Haunted Nights of Milan's Cursed Hospital." This narrative chronicled the experiences of Luca, a local investigator drawn by curiosity and a hint of bravado. Determined to uncover the truth, Luca entered the hospital alone on a cold, moonless night, armed with only a flashlight and a voice recorder. What he discovered would haunt him forever. As he descended into the hospital's mortuary, the air grew heavy, thick with the scent of decay and something far more sinister. The silence was punctuated by faint whispers, at first indistinguishable, then slowly resolving into voices pleading for release, cursing those who disturbed their rest. Luca's flashlight flickered, casting long, shifting shadows across the tiled walls. There, among the empty slabs and rusted equipment, he found cryptic symbols etched in dried blood, remnants of forgotten rituals meant to appease the spirits that lingered within. But the most chilling revelation came when Luca's recorder, played back later, captured sounds he could not remember hearing: the metallic scrape of gurneys, the wet slap of footsteps, and a guttural moan echoing from the darkness. As he hurried to leave, the temperature plummeted, and a force seemed to press against his chest, as if the hospital itself sought to claim him. He escaped, but not unscathed, plagued ever after by nightmares and a sense that something had followed him out. This account sparked renewed interest in the hospital's haunted legacy, prompting further investigation and even inspiring a new wave of supernatural fiction. In March 2025, an AI-generated horror story titled "The Cursed Hospital" captured the imagination of readers worldwide. The tale followed three friends, Alex, Jordan, and Sam, who, driven by curiosity, ventured into an abandoned hospital eerily reminiscent of Milan's own cursed institution. Once inside, they confronted vengeful spirits: a headless nurse drifting silently through the wards, a legless doctor dragging himself endlessly down the corridors, and the anguished cries of patients who had never left. As the story unfolded, the trio realized that the hospital's curse was not merely a metaphor, but a living force, a sentient malice that ensnared the souls of those who dared to intrude. Their laughter and screams, once signs of youthful bravado, became permanent echoes within the hospital's walls, a warning to others who might be tempted to follow. These tales, both real and imagined, have only deepened the hospital's reputation. Urban explorers, thrill seekers, and paranormal investigators have all reported strange phenomena. Electronic devices failing without explanation, sudden drops in temperature, and feelings of unease so intense they drive even the bravest back into the street. Some speak of being watched by unseen eyes, of hearing their names whispered by disembodied voices, and of seeing doors slam shut on their own. A few never return at all, their fate unknown. What is it about a place like this that captures our collective imagination? Perhaps it's the juxtaposition of healing and harm, hope and despair. Hospitals are meant to be sanctuaries, yet in abandonment, they transform into labyrinths of memory and regret. The suffering that once took place within their walls seems to linger, imprinting itself upon the very structure, warping reality and inviting the supernatural. For the people of Milan, the hospital stands as both a warning and a challenge. Its boarded windows and rusted gates are a physical barrier, but the true boundary is fear itself. Local authorities have repeatedly warned against entering, citing not only the dangers of structural collapse, but the psychological toll of confronting what lies within. Yet, every so often, someone is drawn to the site, whether for answers, for thrills, or out of a sense of duty to lay the past to rest. As the years pass, the legend of the cursed abandoned hospital grows, fed by each new story, each unexplained occurrence. Perhaps one day, its secrets will be fully revealed, and the restless spirits at last find peace. Until then, the hospital remains a place of unanswered questions, a monument to human suffering, curiosity, and the enduring power of fear. For those who stand outside its gates, peering into the darkness, one thing is certain: some doors are best left unopened, and some places are cursed for a reason.